Joan of Arc was born a peasant in Domremy, France around 1412. Life was hard. England and France were at war. This was a dangerous time, especially for a young girl in a small village. But Joan was no ordinary girl. From a young age, Joan experienced visions and heard voices. These voices, she claimed, were of Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, and Saint Margaret. They told her to be pious and brave. They gave her a mission: drive the English out of France and crown Charles VII, the rightful king. At 16, Joan knew she could no longer ignore her calling. She was determined to fulfill her divine mission. This was not a common thought for a peasant girl in the Middle Ages. However, Joan's conviction was unshakable. She traveled to Vaucouleurs, a nearby city, to meet Robert de Baudricourt, the local French commander. Joan's request was simple but audacious. She needed an army to save France. Baudricourt, initially skeptical, was struck by Joan's unwavering faith. He agreed to help. He gave her a small escort of soldiers and sent her to Chinon to meet Charles VII. Charles, unsure of Joan, devised a test. He disguised himself, hiding among his courtiers. Joan, guided by her voices, immediately identified the true king. This convinced Charles of her divine mission. He gave her command of the French army. Clad in white armor and carrying her banner, Joan led the French army to victory at the Siege of Orléans in 1429. This was a turning point in the 100 Years' War. Joan's courage and military acumen earned her the moniker the Maid of Orléans. This victory boosted French morale. More importantly, it proved Joan's divine purpose in the eyes of the French people. Joan's string of victories continued. She led the French army to further victories at Patay and Troyes. These successes paved the way for Charles VII's coronation at Reims Cathedral, a deeply symbolic victory. Despite these victories, Joan's time as a military leader was coming to an end. In 1430, Joan was captured by Burgundian forces, allies of the English, during the siege of Compiègne. The Burgundians handed Joan over to the English. She was put on trial for heresy and witchcraft in Rouen. The trial was politically motivated, a blatant attempt to discredit Joan and, by extension, Charles VII's claim to the throne. Despite facing relentless questioning and intimidation, Joan remained defiant. She defended her visions and her faith in God, but her fate was already sealed. On May 30th, 1431, Joan of Arc was burned at the stake in Rouen marketplace. She was only 19 years old. Joan of Arc's story, however, did not end with her death. Her courage, faith, and unwavering commitment to her cause resonated deeply within the hearts of the French people. Even in defeat, Joan had achieved victory. Her martyrdom only strengthened French resolve. The English were eventually driven out of France. Joan of Arc became a symbol of French national unity and resistance. She was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church in 1920. Her story continues to inspire people around the world, a testament to the power of faith, courage, and unwavering belief in one's convictions. Even today, Joan of Arc remains a potent symbol of courage, determination, and unwavering faith, an inspiration to all who fight for freedom and justice.